Hey YouTube, I'm Lizzie and I am the Discount Vegan. I make budget-friendly recipes and teach you how to garden even in the smallest spaces so that you can save money at the grocery store and save or spend it wherever you want. So if that sounds good to you, click that subscribe button and the bell notification so that you know every time I post a new video every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you've already done that, well then, we have nothing left to do. Let's get into today's video. A delicious pasta Bolognese. Keep watching. All right, so this is a super simple recipe. If you have already seen my spaghetti sauce recipe, this is very similar, just a little bit tweaked to bring it up a notch. It also excludes a couple of those more pricier, but not pricey ingredients in case you don't have them. So what you're gonna need is 1 can of diced tomatoes. This includes the juices. That's where all the flavor is. Then you're going to want 1/2 cup of water, a tablespoon of olive oil, either 2 large garlic cloves minced, or if you use the jar like I do, because it does save a bit of money, you're going to want 1 tablespoon of garlic. Then you're going to want a tablespoon of dried thyme and dried oregano. That again is going to be your flavoring right there. Salt and pepper to taste, dependent on what diced tomatoes you get, because sometimes they have sodium in them, and then if you add salt, it can be too much. We like other things to flavor our food rather than, so much salt. So lastly, you're going to want 1/2 cup of TVP. And I've shown you already how to rehydrate and cook with this, but here is going to be a quicker, I don't know why I'm playing it, it's fun. Here's going to be a quicker way to do that. So we're going straight over to the stove and we're gonna start cooking. Okay, so what you're gonna wanna do, turn your stove on to medium high heat, okay? So right down the middle. Put in your olive oil. And your garlic right away. If you put your garlic into olive oil right away, it heats up with the olive oil and then you won't have burning. The last thing we want is our garlic burning, because that is just nasty. So what we're doing here is just flavoring the olive oil even more than it already is. Depending on what olive oil you use will depend on what it tastes like. There are some absolutely amazing olive oils out there that need very little flavoring. So just keep moving this around. And I don't know whether you can hear that, but the heat is finally getting up to a temperature where it's doing something with the olive oil. You can now see in the center here where it's starting to sizzle and work on the pan, and that's what we want. So just a couple more seconds and then we'll keep going. Okay, now we're gonna want to put in our tomatoes and be very, very careful because dang, do these splash. And with the olive oil, it will also splatter a little bit as well. Now that that's in, just work them together. The nice thing about using a can of tomatoes, if you don't have fresh already, which, I mean, if you are growing tomatoes right now, definitely use fresh. There's nothing better than freshly canned tomatoes. But if you don't, like I don't right now, then definitely use canned. You can usually get them on sale for $1 or sometimes even less. Just to give you an alternative, if you don't have access for some reason or don't have the money for canned tomatoes, get those like 50, 88-cent cans of tomato paste. One can and usually about 1 cup of water will give you tomato sauce. The only difference is you're just going to have to obviously season it as well, but maybe a little bit more just because it is tomato paste, it's more concentrated. But other than that, you can use tomato paste as well. And you might need a little bit more water than that just because if you are using TVP, it soaks up a lot of juices. So now we're going to put in the water. And that looks like a lot of liquid, doesn't it? But that's going to reduce down. And now add in the amazing seasonings and get them thoroughly incorporated. Okay, now that that's completely in the sauce, fully submerged, every piece of seasoning is soaked. It's starting to come back up to a boil from the water. We're gonna add in our TVP. And in case you haven't seen my other videos and are maybe new to veganism, TVP is Textured Vegetable Protein. It is kind of a dehydrated ground faux meat, if you will. I don't like using that term, but that's basically what it is. And as you can see, it's already soaked up a lot of the moisture of the sauce. And now all you want to do is just turn down your burner and let it simmer. Okay, so while that was simmering, I also did some pasta on the stove. Save your pasta water. That will be your thickening agent. Now, obviously, for this amount of pasta, you're not going to need all of this. Like always, we always make extras because you don't always want to cook, right? So, medium-low heat, and just add in your pasta sauce a little at a time. And try not to spill. And just like that, warm it up a little bit and you're done. If you want, you can put more pasta water in. You don't have to. That's up to you, depending on what kind of a pasta you like. With something like this, I do prefer something a little bit more drier, just so that you can get all the flavors in. And it's less messy too, to be honest. And just like that, we are done. A delicious pasta with my rendition of a Bolognese sauce. So, if that looked good to you, then please give this video a big thumbs up. Share it with your friends, of course, and let me know down in the comments what you think. I would love to hear it. And let me know if there's something that you want made vegan and cheap. And on that note, I will see you in the next video. Bye.